Okay, your next request is a little more complicated, but I'm going to show you how to create automatically updating invoice numbers using macros in Excel. The first thing that we need to make sure is that you can make a macro. In order to do that, you need to have this developer tab up here at the top, and it's hidden by default. So in order to make it show up, you click on File, you click on Options, Customize Ribbon, and make sure that this developer box is checked. Then he will show up. So the first thing we need to do is just create a blank macro in this case. So I'm going to hit Record Macro, and I want it to be named Invoice Number. I'm going to say the shortcut for this macro is Control N. You don't have to have a shortcut, but it's nifty if you use it all the time. And this macro is going to create a new invoice number based on previous information. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and just stop the recording because I don't need to actually do anything there. I'm going to enter 1000 in as the base number for the invoices. You can start with whatever number you want. And then I'm going to look at that macro that I recorded. So click on macro. Here it is, the invoice number. I'm going to edit it. And I have already written the code for you that you need to put into this macro, so you can just copy and paste it from the email. And what this is saying is that the macro wants to look at cell L8, which in this case is not correct. You'll see that we put the invoice number here in G4, so I'm changing this to G4 because that's where our invoice number is. And what it's doing is it's looking at the value in that box, and it's just going to add 1 to it. So the next one will be 1001, 1002, etc. And then this is just a fun little extra, and what it does is it clears out all the items that are already on the invoice. So if you had previous things on here from the last customer, it'll automatically clear that out as well. So I want it to clear out from cell B9 all the way until, let's say, G20. So I want it to clear out B9 through G20. And I'm going to save this macro. And it's asking me, do I want to save the whole workbook? And I'm going to save it as a macro-enabled workbook. Okay. And now, remember I assigned this shortcut to Control N. So I'm going to exit out of the macro window, and I'm going to hit Control N on my keyboard. And you'll see it automatically wiped out all of the data that was in the cells, and it made the invoice number go up 1. So if I kept on hitting it, it would keep going up. And just so you see how it erases things. Then when I hit Control N, it will make it all disappear. I accidentally made it wipe out my formulas in the G cell for my price, and that's no good. So I'm actually going to go back to macros, edit, and I want it to stop at F4. And that's it.